On this all-new episode of Nightlife, we catch up with the first Golden Knight to play 500 games in a VGK sweater.
What advice would you give this guy?
Probably the same advice I have right now. Just keep working, stay humble, and good things will happen.
And we sit down with Ashali Vise and some of her former mentors to discuss her journey to the Valley.
You'll never take for granted the support that you need behind the camera and on the other side.
Never.
To be successful.
Shout out to Jonesy.
Right. I mean,
that's the interview right
that's
now.
the thing. So it's actually everybody behind it and surrounding it that make the piece work. And you were one of those people that did all that.
Plus, we relive the thrilling overtime win against the St. Louis Blues.
Marchessault looking, shot, score! Jonathan Marchessault off the post and in, wins it in overtime.
All of that and more this week on Nightlife.
First and foremost, we're going to be a team of character and build something from the ground up. And we're doing it.
A shot, score! Jonathan Marchessault knew it was in. You could hear him up here. Bushman 2-on-1. Carlson looking for the hat trick, and he scores! William Carlson, a natural hat trick. And a big hit, McNabb. He laid out Kerfoot. Walking it back, don't score! Deep into the Toronto zone, backhands in the front, Carlson and Marchessault, and he scores! What a setup! William Carlson looking for his second short-handed goal in as many nights, and shot, score! What a goal!
Are you kidding me? William Carlson pulls this move off at full speed.
They'll lead the rush, takes the shot, walks in, wrist shot, score! What a move by Braden McNabb!
Marchessault to the net, he scores! 35 seconds in.
Carlson has room, he's in, he scores! William Carlson wins this one in overtime. Barranco behind the net, centers one, and they score! Jonathan Marchessault!
And an original Golden Knight, Jonathan Marchessault.
Welcome into this all-new episode of Nightlife. As we near the finish line on season number 7 in the Valley, some of the original Misfits are closing in on a massive milestone. 500 games in a Golden Knights uniform is quite stunning if you stop to think about it. It seems like just yesterday that the puck dropped for the first time at T-Mobile. Jonathan Marchessault achieved the milestone recently against the Tampa Bay Lightning, and fellow Misfits William Carlson and Braden McNabb are right behind him. We sat down with number 81 to reflect on his journey so far.
Odd man rush if they hurry. Theodore, Eichel, Theodore, Marchessault scores! What a passing play on the first shot of the game! Number 38 for Jonathan Marchessault.
You couldn't have executed that finish any better on a 3-on-1.
Jonathan, 500 games as a Golden Knight. Has it felt like it?
No. I still feel I was here the first year, and we're grinding to make the playoffs. So it's been a long way there, but definitely happy about it.
I heard some guys in the room got wind of the milestone this morning. What's it been like around the room this morning?
Just the usual, getting teased over it and stuff like that. But I mean, no, it's always good stuff.
You mentioned how it feels like year one still. What are those first memories that come to mind when you think about your early days as a Golden Knight?
Yeah, just I think we did a lot of good work. I think we've known ourselves as an organization to be successful, and a lot of wins in the regular season and the playoffs too. So I think that's something that I'm really proud to be part of, and I definitely helped doing that. So definitely happy about it.
How was the time here compared to what you expected when you were selected in the expansion draft 6.5 years ago?
Yeah, that was tough. Like I thought I was going to be protected by Florida, so that was unfortunate. But I mean, that's how the business work, and every year you can be somewhere else. You know, no one is safe in that business, so it keeps you honest, and I like it. That's how I roll as well. You know, I want adversity, and I want to push through it, and always help my team win hockey games.
Here comes Smith down the left side. Smith in front. Backhand shot. Score! Second of the game for Jonathan Marchessault.
You mentioned adversity. How have you grown most on the ice since your first game as a member of the Golden Knights?
Yeah, well, I think I'm a little bit a better hockey IQ, I would say. I have a little bit more experience in the league, and I can to be in a different situation and know how to win hockey games, and I think that's one of the things that I'm proud of.
What about off the ice?
Nothing has changed really. I'm still a really joyful guy. Just want to have fun and teasing everybody around, and that's how our locker room is so much fun, I think.
I know you say not much has changed for you personally, but here's a photo of you. Headshot, year one, as a member of the Golden Knights. What advice would you give this guy?
Probably the same advice I have right now. Just keep working, stay humble, and good things will happen.
So since you've been here, 2 Cup final appearances, a Stanley Cup, Conn Smythe Trophy, yet you find yourself in the best season of your career statistically. How is that possible?
I mean, it's just like I said, there's always competition now in the league, and it's always hard to be successful year after year, and it's something that I'm still trying to find my game to try to get better and better and help my team win games. And I think consistency it's one of the hardest things to have, and just trying to push through it and have consistency in my game.
Jonathan, congrats, thanks for doing this, and most importantly, thanks for letting us have a front row seat to the show.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate it.
Time for our first break here on Nightlife. Coming up next, with the VGK in St. Louis to take on the Blues, our very own Ashali Vise got a chance to catch up with some of her mentors.
Our job is to coach in a lot of ways. And if you see somebody that has ability, if you see somebody that has talent, there's nothing greater than helping them find a way to get that
That's the most
talent
rewarding thing
to the surface.
Nightlife on Scripps Sports. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Nightlife. Anyone who watches VGK hockey is well aware of how important Ashali Vise is to the broadcast team. She has had quite a unique path to where she is today. With the Golden Knights in St. Louis to take on the Blues, Ashali got a chance to catch up with some old mentors in the city where her journey began.
It's always really weird. It's always a little bit overwhelming. Just for a second. Good to see you.
All right. Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, oh yeah. All right, here's the control room. Spent a lot of time in here.
Ashley.
Logan!
Hi, Ashley.
How are ya? So we are back in St. Louis where my career started right after college. Right now we're here in the control room, one of the spaces I spent a lot of time, but basically I started as an intern right out of college, wanted to be able to do any and everything I could in the sports world with the hope of one day being on camera, but the understanding that that might never happen. So I did a lot of production work, a lot of shooting video, editing video. One day decided to roll the cameras and lights out and start recording myself doing some stuff, and people at the Blues were crazy enough to actually put it out there.
And it doesn't get much bigger than this. The Stanley Cup is in the building, and the Blues are 1 win away from raising it for the first time in franchise history.
So we're here at Enterprise Center, where my career all began. It started with Chris Kerber, who is a longtime radio voice of the St. Louis Blues, who gave me my first internship. So we'll talk about that, the first person I ever met with the team. And then Trevor Nickerson was my boss and mentor and grew me as a producer, as an on-camera broadcaster, all of that throughout my time here. But Curbs, I guess I want to start by talking about when I first met you and wanted an internship. Basically just anything you could give me.
Our job is to coach in a lot of ways. And if you see somebody that has ability, if you see somebody that has talent, there's nothing greater than helping them find a way to get that
That's the
talent
most rewarding thing
to the surface.
100%.
Spent 3 or 4 years doing primarily production stuff with some pre-taped reporting here and there, and then eventually got to do some live stuff right here in this room. First live experience was an interesting one. I completely froze when I was on camera for the first time. We don't have to sugarcoat this because I've planned they were going to ask us about
You
this.
froze.
Why don't you tell us what actually happened the second I was live on camera, Trevor?
You froze, but that's okay. You got through it, and you held it together. You did the first intermission show, you did the second intermission show, and after the second intermission show, you were very upset with yourself.
Waterworks.
Waterworks. However,
That I was trying to hide.
However, I texted you after the game and said, that is the greatest thing that could have happened because we had to get the first one out of the way. And once you get the first one out of the way, we build from there.
This is where I would stand. I would stand on this to give myself a little extra height. Take the microphone, plug in the IFB, and this is about the time that my heart would drop through my chest. And this is exactly the moment where I froze on camera for the first time ever and thought that I would never be where I am now. Got through it somehow. I would be standing in this room feeling like I was going to pass out and throw up almost every single game before doing our live pregame and intermission shows, but I still feel like that half the time, if I'm being honest. Something that is a big part of my story that we wanted to talk about was the production side of things as well. And Trevor, that's where you really played a big role in teaching me, how to be a storyteller, how to shoot, how to edit. Curious what you remember about that part of the role.
Well, it's the crazy part. As you were growing, I remember saying this to you. It was in a review, I think. As you were growing as a host, as an on-camera talent, out of nowhere, you became one of the strongest editors in the department. Like, you nailed the storytelling, the rhythm, the pacing. That's an art, right? Anybody can learn a program. Anybody can learn Adobe Premiere, which is the program we use.
I'm learning it now.
But the art of editing is an art. It's an art form, and you learned it, and it was crazy. And then you became a shooter. You were shooting cinematic, and you were lighting, and the audio, like all the production elements.
Between being a producer, being an editor, being on camera, shooting and editing my own stuff when I was on camera all at the same time, and the first season that I was able to do much more on camera stuff, which was my eventual goal, is when the Blues went on their cup run. So not only was I able to, kind of watch the players live out a dream and do my best to tell their stories, but I was kind of on the path of starting to live out my own dream at the same time.
Because you've shot on your own, because you've dealt with players and had to be behind the camera.
How has this group managed to do that during the grind of the series? How are you managing to do that?
Trevor didn't do it, I didn't do it, nobody else around here did it. You had to see the opportunity and go for it, and that's why, like, you're not done. I mean, there's a big future still coming here, without a doubt in my mind.
Curbs, to piggyback off that's the moral of the story, right? The grind, a lot of people don't want to do the grind. That's the critical part about it. That's not me and you, that's the individual. And that's, for us, is the most rewarding part of the job.
Time for another break here on Nightlife. Coming up next, we relive the huge road win against the St. Louis Blues.
Walker goes down trying to play the puck. Mantha keeps it alive. Dorofeev down low. Cuts in front and scores! Goals in 3 straight for the first time in his career for Pavel Dorofeev.
Don't touch that remote. Nightlife will be right back. Welcome back to Nightlife. We rejoin our conversation with Chris, Trevor, and Ashali.
Be here and walk around, it always brings back memories, and there's a lot of full circle moments and tidbits that come with my time in St. Louis. I feel like, for example, when I was an intern, my very first day, one of my tasks was to help set up a photo shoot for the Winter Classic jerseys. They were in the Winter Classic that year, and the player who was being shot during that photo shoot was Alex Pietrangelo. So he was the very first NHL player that I ever met. He was the captain of the St. Louis Blues at the time, someone who made me feel so comfortable, so welcome in a locker room that's intimidating for a kid that, walks in right out of college, doesn't really know what she's doing, doesn't want to step in the wrong direction. So, the fact that he's now in Vegas and I've been able to cover not 1 but 2 cups for him has been, really cool and a really full circle thing. Back here, when I would produce the shows, this is where I would be. So if it was different talent up there, I would be back here producing the show that would go on the video board right out there. So whenever we had one of these shows, I would write the rundown, I would write the script, I would get all the sound, shoot the video at morning skate that morning, go back, edit all of it, and then send it all up here. People up here would run it while I would then host the show. Pre-producing, hosting, the whole shebang.
That is irreplaceable when you're now in front of a camera or doing things on that side, because you'll never take for granted the support that you need behind the camera and on the other side.
Never.
To be successful.
Shout out to Jonesy.
Right.
The interview right
that's
now.
the thing. So, like, when you have that knowledge, You'll never take that for granted because you know the least important person is the person in front of the camera. It's actually everybody behind it and surrounding it that make the piece work. And you were one of those people that did all that. So with that, I think that's what keeps you grounded in front.
I had a lot of people who didn't have to give me an opportunity that gave me a big opportunity and really let me cut my teeth and let me make the mistakes and kept putting me back in there and kept believing in me. I think I learned that if you just keep your head down and work hard, it's something that does get noticed even when it doesn't feel like it in the moment. Hard work is something that does really go a really long way. And sometimes, you know, when you're chasing and trying to get to a certain point, it feels like it's a long time in the moment, but then you turn around and it all really flew by. And the happiness really does lie in the journey, not the destination. I am a cheese ball, but it is so true, and it makes me feel that way every time that I'm here. Well, the best part of this business is the family that you make along the way, and would not be here without you guys. So thank you for everything you've done for me, and thank you for doing this too.
Yeah, you got it, Ash. You've earned it.
Thank
Congratulations.
you. Always still a long way to go, but it's always really important to turn around and look how far you've come, and that's kind of what happens every time I'm here in St. Louis.
What better way to cap off a memorable trip than with a huge 2 points against the St. Louis Blues?
This is the biggest road trip of the season. Plenty of good vibes heading into this one. The Golden Knights will look to keep up that rhythm against the Blues.
We're underway tonight. Mantha spinning free down the wall. Pass to Dorofeev, blocked by Walker. Dorofeev gets it back. Walker goes down trying to play the puck. Mantha keeps it alive. Dorofeev down low. Cuts in front and scores! Goals in 3 straight for the first time in his career for Pavel Dorofeev. The Golden Knights strike first in St. Louis.
Dorofeev's 11th as the Golden Knights have the 1-0 lead.
Blues have 11 shorties this year. Letty to the net, a backhander, and Thompson with a split. Eichel to the loose puck with Amadio coming. Eichel looking. Eichel has it! And Infinity to get a piece of that. And it's Kevin Hayes up ice. Kevin Hayes in alone! And a save Thompson! Theodore. And Theodore trying to spring Mantha. He does. Mantha on a breakaway. A backhander, and Bennington with a huge stop. Now Kyrer's going to carry it in. Shed in deep. Puts it across. Tip score! Backdoor Brandon Saad.
And he gets it past Thompson to tie this game at 1.
We're headed to overtime in the Gateway City. Parayko and Saad. Here's Buchnevich to the net. That's taken down and a penalty. Pavel Buchnevich with a penalty shot and a chance to win the game for the Blues. 1-on-1 against Logan Thompson. Save Thompson with a glove.
Huge stop on Buchnevich on that penalty shot.
Double teamed in deep. Marchessault digs it out. Marchessault looking. Shot, score! Jonathan Marchessault off the post and in. Wins it in overtime. 2-1.
Talked so many times you need a big goal. Who is it? Number 81, and he comes through.
Well, thanks for following along, learning a little bit about my journey, and that was a big, big dub. No friends once the puck drops. We know that. Big 2 points for the Vegas Golden Knights.
Time for one last break here on Nightlife. Coming up next, we head back to the Valley to meet with some very special kids.
You know what we're doing today?
We're ice skating, right?
Well, that too, yes, but even more than that, we're actually signing you to a one-day player contract.
Keep it locked. Nightlife on Scripps Sports. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Nightlife. This week marked a very special moment for some young VGK fans. The Golden Knights hosted several pediatric patients from UMC Children's Hospital for a chance to be a player for a day. The youngsters were able to sign contracts and skate on the ice at City National Arena in what was sure to be the memory of a lifetime.
This is a big day. You know what we're doing today?
We're ice skating, right?
Well, that too, yes, but even more than that, we're actually signing you to a one-day player contract for the Golden Knights.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. For them to have the ability for at least for a few hours to step away from a challenge that's been really difficult that they faced. Through our partnership with UMC Hospital, they get a chance to see our Studio 31 and have a little bit of a media experience. They get to go down, have a locker room experience, put on the jersey, go out and skate. And then, what they're most excited about is get a chance to have some free pizza. Before you know it, you've got a new fan. And like I said, just to see their smiles and their reactions is really special.
He's meant for the camera.
I can't wait to get on the ice. That's awesome. All right. Well, welcome to the organization. Let's go have some fun.
Yeah.
All right.
My favorite part is being able to bring these kids back. Some of them have spent weeks or even months in the hospital. Getting them to, come to this training facility, become Vegas Golden Knights for the day, see them smile and enjoy the day. This is an opportunity that they're going to remember for the rest of their lives.
That's really great for the hospital to do something. I've never seen it done before, so he's been in the hospital a lot, so this is the first time for us to ever see hospital ever doing anything like this, so that's amazing.
It just means a lot to me. I haven't been able to get out of the house for a little bit, so it's just amazing to get out of the house and just come meet new people. It just helps me a lot. Have a better attitude towards life, just like more looking towards the future. Just get to see what other people do, get to see what I want to do in the future. That's what helps me.
It is awesome, and it's awesome meeting the Golden Knights. That is like a 1 in a million.
That does it for this week on Nightlife, VGK faithful. Fear not, however. We will be back next week, same time, same place. Until then, Knights fans, keep it golden.